Hello everybody, wee Paddy from across the shuck, and you're very welcome, my little potato chips. Um, what I'm doing today is I'm doing a touch-up, a gentle refurb of a very old knife. And this is the knife. This is a George Wolfson Home IXL stamped metal, what they would have called like a little dime knife. It was the turn of the last century in the early 1900s, maybe late 1800s, 1900s, probably the early 1900s. But a beautiful little knife in metal. It's just stamped metal with a name on it there. Single bladed jackknife. Lovely little spear point, drop point, pen blade, whatever you want to call that. It's in pretty good condition considering its age. And to be honest with you, I don't want to do a whole lot to it. I want it to cut like a knife, so I will sharpen it. I will try and clean the blade up a little bit, get a little bit of the carbon off it. I shall clean up the surfaces of this because it's just black and dirty with years of use. The inside you can't really see much. Whether that'll get any better or not, I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go through. Just going to show you some of the tools that I use for when I'm doing little makeovers like this, because I don't want to change this knife. It's an old knife. I do want to clean it up so that it's part of my collection, and I do want it to be able to cut, because if it doesn't, it's not a knife. So that's what I'm going to do. And here's just some of my little tools that I use. This is a scouring pad from the kitchen, which I'll use to clean the blade up with. This is just a microfiber cloth, I use in the cleaning. Some cotton wool, and what I've just received from KPL their new oils, but these new sticks they've got. And you buy a pack of about 50, they're a couple of dollars. Absolutely great for getting into the corners, especially of old knives like that. But what I did find out, I'll just show you again. At the end here, you see they have a little microfiber cloth that's attached to it. And when you can just rewash these or whatever. But what I found when I was doing one of the ones, you get a little bit of cotton wool and just roll it in your fingers around that tip when it gets really dirty. You can actually just use that to get into any little small gaps, and you can just change it, put some more on, do it again. And it's an amazing little tool, because to get into this little knife here, if I just show you, it is so skinny. Look at that there. I'd have to force that in there, and that is just that little point, which, if you see, goes in there. So it's really skinny in there, but this is a great little tool. Absolutely marvellous. And now I know you can just wrap cotton wool around it. It makes it even better. They'll last for donkeys. I got some cotton buds as normal. I have a toothbrush because I want to scrub down the scales of that. I have some KPL Heavy. Now, I know that's not its intended purpose, but what I'm thinking, these old knives are just metal on metal. So I'm going to put the heavy in to see how that works. It's just a trial, and I'll see how it works, how it makes a knife function, and how long it lasts before it dries out. I've my WD-40, which I'll spray the whole knife with, and then scrub with a toothbrush. And then, fine of all, I've got case paste at the end to give it all a nice clean up, and then it'll go on to a little stone, probably 1,000 grit stone, and my strop, and hopefully it'll cut like a knife. So the next thing you'll see is when I've done the cleanup, and I'll show you what the results are. And then if it's something you would like to see, because, oh, excuse me, it's probably going to be a longer video to do it. I'll time it and see how long it takes me. But if it's something you would like to see me do a full video of, by all means, I'll do that. But there we go. I got to start now, and the next thing you'll see is the finished product. Hello, my little potato peelers. This is me back again. You'll not notice a difference, but I would say it's taken me a good half an hour, maybe a little bit longer in doing this. This is the knife now. As you can see, it's cleaner looking. And to be honest with you, let me tell you something about these wee knives. I've done a few in the past. They sort of let you know when not to go any further. And this is as far as I wanted to go and clean this up. The IXL is lovely and clear now, really nice, and you have the cross there. And on this side, it's nice and clean, much cleaner than it was, obviously. I'll put it against that. I left some of these here. This is some of the stuff from the inside of the well. It was absolutely rusted completely. And what I'm going to show you now is not something that is a finished job. Now, I hope you can see this in here. Now, can you see just down here on the well, it's about here, there is the back pin here, and it's raised on the inside of this well. Well, you can still see it's a bit rusty and damp. I've respread it again. I'm going to let that do, and then I'll get a little metal pick in and clean as much as I can out tomorrow once it's dried off. It's easier to clean off. Once you do it and give it a scuff up, it's all scored at the bottom. But that had caused tremendous blade wrap, which I didn't even know was there. When I went to sharpen the knife on this side, you'll see just, this is really not, let me see if I can get this to focus a bit more. Oh, there. On here, just here where this was, there was a big V. So you've noticed I've taken a little bit of the blade off. I've leveled it out a bit. There's still a little bit there, but you know, I know that sounds a bit, this sounds a bit dramatic, but it's as if the knife said, right, no, that's enough. That'll give you a couple of sharpenings, you know, if you're going to use it, and it'll still be all right. What's it like as in sharpness? It is absolutely like a little razor. The metal on these old blades, you'll find whatever the carbon steel is, I have no idea what it is. Maybe somebody could tell me what the older carbon steels were made of, but they take a razor's edge, and I didn't go over the top. You can see here where it was completely black here, I couldn't see where there was a V cut in it. So now, and another thing I found out, watch this, an absolutely super half stop on this little knife, which I think is brilliant. Now, this is the cheapest of the cheap knives, so it goes, everybody keeps saying, oh, if it's a half stop, it's a good knife. This was a buck standard cheap knife, still at a half stop. So that's a bit of a fallacy. But I've cleaned the blade up, I've case polished everything, and it sort of lets you know what age it is. It's over 100 years old, and this had obviously been used and loved by man, boy, whatever, it wouldn't have mattered in them days. This is a lovely little pen knife, a little quill sharpener, whatever you want to call it. It is now better centered. It was off to the right here, it's better centered. I had blade wobble. Once I cleaned it all up and, you know, spread the WD-40 into it, there was a bit of blade wobble. So out came my little pinning hammer, and I put it on top of this with my stone upturned and battered it, and there's no blade wobble now. It is completely functional. But listen to this wee knife now. Isn't it, you know, for a knife that wasn't doing that to have a lovely little half stop. I'm just going to put that in gently again. But this is usual, and I would use this. This is a wee secondary knife, throw in my fifth pocket to take out and use for cutting bits of string or a bit of tape. Absolutely usable little knife, and I will carry this and use it. And I've ordered another couple today, so you'll see them when they come, but they're in much better condition. They're an older knives, but they're like old new stock. Lovely little metal frame knives, which I'll do once they come. They should be here later on this week. Maybe the weekend I'll get them, and I'll do a video of a lot of my little metal knives. But I just wanted to thank Bob from the Knife Junkie. He sent this to me all the way from America, which I was over the moon about. What a lovely gesture to do. He knew I was collecting these, and you know, I'm starting my little collection. I have a couple of old ones there, but I'll do a little review. This is another subsection of my collection. So if you're interested, I think it's nearly too long because you don't know how long you're going to be. That was over half an hour, and I'm not sure over. I meant to check the time and I didn't blooming do it. Hang on a wee second. Sally, what time is it? 44. I lied, you see, 45 minutes. And to be honest with you, the knife itself dictates how long you're going to be. And again, I don't want to be over that, but when you're working with something like this, it nearly says, right, stop, you don't want to go anymore, or otherwise you'll take away my history. And for an over 100-year-old cheap dime knife, as they would have called them in the States, this is just an absolute cracker. I love it. So Bob, thank you very, very much. I'll put Bob's channel down below. It's the Knife Junkie on podcasts and on YouTube. Fantastic channel, just a nice gent. And I hope he likes what I've done to it. I didn't go over the top, but I put the KPL in, and that's when that half stop really started to work. Listen to that wee knife. I just love it. Listen to it. It's just beautiful, and that's just metal on metal. Like, oh, I get excited over stupid things, but honestly, George Wolstenholme, Sheffield, England, beautiful little knife. Thank you very much. I hope that was of interest to you. I'm away now. Cup of tea's gone cold. It's over there, and my puffer needs a good suck. See you later. Bye now.